Well, Hamas has welcomed the ruling by the International Court of Justice, but in a statement it says it expected the court to issue an order to stop the genocide against our people in all of Gaza, not just in Rafah. Well, joining us on the phone is senior Hamas spokesman Osama Hamdan. He joins us from Beirut now. First of all, can you just give us your initial reaction to the ICJ ruling? How significant do you find it?
Well, first of all, it's a very welcomed decision from the ICJ, and we believe it shows clearly that the ICJ considered what's happening in Gaza as a genocide, and Israel is committing a genocide, because everyone knows that the genocide is identified clearly in the court. The second issue, I believe this decision brings the whole international community to carry on their own responsibilities. Everyone was waiting for this decision to understand whether it is a genocide or not. We believe as Hamas it was a genocide from day number one. But at least now everyone in the international community has to understand it's a genocide, and they have to work hard in order to make an end for that and to stop Israel from going on forward in this issue. And I believe it's a great challenge for the international community, mainly to the United States, because for all the last around 8 months, Israel was supported totally by the United States on all the levels. If you want to talk about the political level, they were supported in the Security Council. They were supported and by military aid. They were supported economically, and even they were defended by the U.S. administration that what was happening is not a genocide. Now everyone understands it's a genocide, and everyone has to work hard in order to stop it.
Since the ruling was handed down by the ICJ, or as it was handed down, we saw the Israeli military step up its airstrikes on Rafah. Do you think that there is any chance at all that the Israeli government is actually going to comply with this ruling?
Well, it's clear that the Israelis will not accept the decision, and they didn't ever accept any resolution in the United Nations or the ICJ. This is the challenge, whether Israel is a country above the international law or a country have to accept the international law. Everyone is talking about the international law. Everyone is talking about the justice. Now there is a clear issue, and everyone is supposed to answer about that, how he considered the Israeli decision. I think if they were treated like a spoiled child, they will continue. But if everyone said enough is enough, and there was an action against Israel, boycotting Israel, dismantling this racist regime, I think this will stop the war against not only Rafah, it will be stopped against the Palestinians. We are under the Israeli occupation for the last 75 years. The massacres did not start today. The genocide did not start today. It started in 1948. But at least this is the first time there is a clear evidence that the international community, considering what's going on, is a genocide through the resolution of the ICJ.
Yeah, part of the ruling was to deal with the opening of the Rafah border crossing. How significant, how important is that, getting aid back into Gaza?
Well, it's very important because in the last 2 days there is a clear signs in the northern part of Gaza about a hunger situation. We are facing a real situation in northern part of Gaza. According to the Israeli siege and according to the closure of the borders, mainly in Rafah. So I believe this is supposed to reopen all the closed checkpoints and allow the aids to come inside Gaza, and that will make the Palestinian people survive. We need also medical support. We need all the essential issues, from food to medicine to medical support from everywhere. And I think this can open the door for the Palestinian people in Gaza to have this support.
while there is obviously increasing international pressure on Israel to stop its offensive in Rafah in particular and allow more aid in, there is also more pressure coming on Hamas to release the captives.
Well, our position was clear from day number one. We have declared that we are ready to do our best to send the non-militant Israelis to their families. We have tried that the early days, as you remember, and everyone maybe remember that. We've sent 2 Americans, and Netanyahu said no, and after internal pressure, he accepted that. So we sent 2 old women. After that, in November, we have a ceasefire which was undermined by Netanyahu himself, and we sent around 110 of those women and children, and we said that we are ready at the time to carry on, but Netanyahu undermines that. Through the last 4 months, all the negotiations, Netanyahu insists to have the Israelis only without sending any Palestinian or release any Palestinians from the Israeli jails. We are talking about dozens, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. We are talking about more than 10,000 Palestinians in the jail. Half of them, they were arrested in the last 5 months. So we were clear in the negotiations. We have to insist on 5 issues which must work together. A complete ceasefire, a withdrawal from all the areas in Gaza, the return of the Palestinians to their houses with providing them with needed aid, reconstructing Gaza, and a fair prisoners exchange deal. And we insist on that. And the last paper which was introduced by the mediators, I mean the Qataris and the Egyptians, and it was endorsed by the Americans, we've said yes. That was on the 4th of May this month. But the Israelis rejected that. So we are ready to go on. If they said yes, this will happen today. So they have to make their mind and to decide. We are not going back to negotiations. There was an initiative and it was accepted from Hamas, and they have to say now yes.
Okay, still clearly a gulf between the two sides. That is senior Hamas spokesman Osama Hamdan speaking to us from Beirut.